Alright, welcome back to Restaurant Food Fest. We are trying for the past week, this week, things that I'm not familiar with. Kind of a way to show you just don't be nervous about cooking. Just go ahead and go for it. Did a adobo last week, which I really liked. That has a really nice flavor to it, something I'd never had experience with. And while I was out looking for some of the chilies that I wanted in the adobo, I got a mole. Very dark. Dark mole, as you can see. Very, very dark. Did a little bit of experimenting with it last week. And I'm just going to do a very, very simple sauteed chicken with some onions and peppers and make a mole sauce to finish it with. It's really, really good. If you have not expanded into this arena, give it a shot. There are as many varieties to the mole as there are to the adobo as there are to curry powder. There's just, everybody has their own way of doing it. You can find a ton of recipes online on how to make your own. I'm not going into that. I'm going to mess around with some pre-done products because I want to see the taste and the flavors to begin with to see what I like and I don't like. Once I get into the tastes of them, then I might think of making my own based on what I like. But to start, I'm just using a pre-done mole product. Really easy. I have everything prepped out. I have the mole here. I'm not going to be using nearly all of this. I took 2 chicken breasts, cubed them up, and I've got some small sweet peppers and an onion. And basically, I'm just going to saute these 2 off. Once they get almost done, I'm going to add some chicken stock to it, and then add some mole to thicken it up and give it some deep color and flavors, and that's pretty much it. Typically served over rice. Of course, I'm not going to serve it over anything because I never do. So we'll go from there. I've got the pan cranking. I'm just going to hit it with some olive oil and go from there. So there's that. Dropping some of the vegetables. Yep, nice and hot. And chicken. Trying to keep some of the water out of this because these were frozen and I didn't want to have the water in it. Okay, saute those up a little bit. I'm going to hit them with some pepper. I'm going to add a little more cumin. Some habanero, because the mole I have is a very mild, chocolatey mole. Really good. This recipe I want it to be a little hotter. And then I'm going to do I've got some smoked sea salt, which you don't have to use a lot of salt. The mole has the seasonings in it already, fairly salty. I just want to give a little bit of that more smoked flavor to it. Let that saute down. While that's sauteing, I want to talk about the adobo we did last week. There are a ton of different ways to cook adobo. I basically made an adobo sauce and put it over top of the grilled product. Now you can take a whole chicken and cook that in adobo sauce. Take it out when it's done, put it in a high oven or a broiler to get it crisp. You can do it like that. Pork is a really good option in the adobos. That's, from what I saw, that is like the #1 thing they do, is pork adobo, and then closely followed by chicken. But you can also do shrimp and the other seafoods also. So don't be afraid to take anything. Get a quartered chicken or you get chicken pieces and make an adobo sauce and let that simmer in the adobo sauce. Then take those pieces and put them on a grill or put them in the oven to bake. And then put the sauce back over top of it. It's fantastic stuff. Because I like that taste so much, I did a bunch of research on it to try and figure out all the different variations of it, which of course I'm never going to do, but I just wanted to get as much info on it as I could, which is basically how I proceed with a recipe I'm not familiar with. If I've never had it before, I will take the most basic recipe I can find and do it. Just because it gives me an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, the general taste differences. The next time I make it, I'll take a different recipe and compare that taste profile. As you do that enough times, you get to figure, okay, this is the basic taste of we'll say, an adobo or a mole, and then these are all the variations around it. And then you can start tailoring that recipe to what you like. And start going, oh, this would be really good with X, or, you know, served on this. So that's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm doing things that I've never done before. I think I might branch into some other styles of cooking next that I'm not real familiar with cooking. I've never cooked Indian or Middle Eastern. So I'm going to start doing some research and maybe cook something like that. Now I know that give me a second here. I got sidetracked. I saw something sticking. Yeah, I know mole is not a big stretch, but it's not something. We live up in the Northeast. There's not a whole lot of good Latin restaurants up here, so I didn't have a lot of exposure to mole. We're pretty much stuck with chain restaurants, which is aggravating. Smells good. Alright, I'm going to build the sauce. And basically all I'm going to do to build this is take some chicken stock, a little bit of water and a little bit of chicken stock to that, and let it soak up the flavors that have been produced by that. And then I'm going to add some mole to it, and it's done pretty much. Real easy. This may not even need the chicken stock. I'm going to taste this. I don't think it needs it. No. I don't think it needs it. I generally don't like adding water. Why add water when you can add flavor? This happened to pull up the fond on the pan, and you can get a good shot of this. It's nice and dark already. So everything from that sauteing just kind of got mixed with that water and it made its own broth. I think if I would add chicken flavor, I would turn it generic. It would taste too much like chicken soup. So I'm going to keep that as it is, and I'm just going to add mole until I have the consistency that I want. So you can see this stuff is black, dark, dark. I can't pronounce it. I don't even see where the container is for it. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying. Look at that. Super, super dark. Beautiful. Trying to get all the pieces off the spoon because this stuff is like paste. See how dark that turns? So by the way, it's an OX. I'm going to add just a tad more water. OX something or other. I can't remember. I have one of my guys is looking it up right now. That's pretty much it. It's done. It has it has such a nice aroma to it. It's the richness of the chocolate and the corn and those roasted chilies all pasted down. Texture, almost like a really smooth peanut butter. It's incredibly good. Again, one of the things I was very happy about finding, because like I said, I don't have the opportunity to try a lot of these things where I'm at. So I was fascinated when we got it. This is pretty much it. It's a nice, dark, rich mole. It has just that back end of the chocolate to it. Now, brighten this up with however you want to do it. Take some green onion, some fresh chive, you know, anything you want to add that zip to it. Take some of the nice. I have the little sweet peppers. Put some of them mixed through raw to give that bright color pop to it and that really nice snap, that crunch. But I'm not waiting. I got to taste it. It's become, this and the adobo have become one of my favorite dishes for this season. It's fantastic. The depth of flavor that this stuff adds. It's incredible. I love it. I love it. This one's hot because I added the different seasonings to it. I guess I'm basically approaching this as almost like an Oriental condiment, like the hoisin sauce and all that stuff, where I'm putting it in the sauce and making it do kind of what I want as a taste flavor, as a profile. Maybe doing it wrong. I don't know. I've never, like I say, ever had experience with it. So if anybody out there, again, I asked before, if someone has experience with adobo and would love to give me some pointers on that, I would welcome it greatly. Same thing with the moles. If anybody wants to give me some tips and experiences with their moles, I'd be more than welcome to read it and give you your props on our next show. But yeah, go out and give it a shot. Any place you have that has an ethnic themed market, even some of the bigger supermarkets are carrying a lot of this stuff. I happen to have a good open market in Pittsburgh, so you can go down and get anything you need. You know, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, you name it, you can find it. So when I was down there, I happened to pick this up because it looked good. And that's pretty much it. Like I say, this stuff is incredible. Becoming my new favorite winter dish. Again, I don't know how to describe it because of the chocolate and the depth of flavor. A base for chili is absolutely incredible. This I had made chili before, and once I tasted the mole last time, I took some of the chili I had made and reheated it and added the mole to it. And just, again, it makes a flavor profile go from, wow, that's pretty good chili, to here. It's just incredible. So go out and experiment. Have fun. Make it taste the way you want. So that's the end. I'm staring at this plate too much because I want to eat it. Get in my belly! So I will say adieu, and like I say, get a hold of us at restaurantfoodfest@gmail.com or go to wardyworld.com, which should be coming up down here somewhere. And until next time, have fun with your food. Go out and play around and make a recipe that you like. Out.